Hi everyone, it's Rabbi Dr. Jack Cohen. I hope things are going well with you. I'm with the Dating Shalom Bayis series. If you need my help in any way in dating or Shalom Bayis, or you'd like to get dating coaching, dating mentoring, would like for me to evaluate your current dating relationship, or have an issue with Shalom Bayis, you can reach out to me from anywhere in the world by simply WhatsApping me or calling me or texting me to 305-206-1916, 305-206-1916. Or you can write me an email to drjackcohen18@gmail.com, or simply contact me through my website, drjackdating.com, where you can see a wealth of information and resources there. I saw an incredible article about a woman who got married after 35, and she looks back and she does a look back in her life and she sees lessons did she learn. Perhaps we can learn from her life and share her lessons so anyone out there who's over 35 can learn. It's never too late to learn and to change the game plan so that you can help yourself to get married. She writes, how I got married after 35. Helena grew up in a small town in America, Conway, Arkansas, population 3,000. Although they were very alone, her mother impressed upon her at an early age a strong sense of her Jewish identity, which was to survive all her travels and experiences. After high school, Helena traveled to New York to pursue a career in book publishing. She always had been a big believer in visualizing her goals and pursuing her goals with energy and drive. She worked for the New Yorker, which is a magazine, Random House, which is a publishing house, and was senior editor at the Village Voice before Hollywood beckoned. She produced issue-oriented docudramas, a fulfilling but crazy and stress-filled existence. Helena confessed that she always felt that marriage and family were a crucial component of success and that something important was missing in her life. Traveling first class to Brazil simply did not make up for an empty apartment that she came back to in Manhattan. In the throes of this recognition, Helena ran into an old friend who had become observant in Shomer Shabbos. Her friend seemed so happy than she'd ever seen her. And she said to herself, I want some of that. So she began attending Torah study classes. At one of Esha Torah's high holiday learning services, Helena met Charlie, the man who would later become her husband. Having been influenced by her classes and being very goal-oriented, she gave Charlie her "I'm only dating for the purpose of marriage" speech on his second date. She wasn't going to waste her time. He stuck around, and 12 months later they were married. Not content to bask in her personal happiness, Helena wanted to help other people. She believed strongly in her method of dating and felt such regret over the time she had wasted in her life. She began to formulate some principles and strategies. Helena believes that every man or woman who is single and seriously wants to get married should have a post-it on their refrigerator that says, what one thing am I going to do today in service of my personal life? This is something that, ladies and gentlemen, I feel that sometimes when I deal with older singles, they don't give as much effort and attention and occupation to the need to get married. We should bring the same passion, she writes, tenacity and principles to finding a marriage partner that we bring to business in our careers. Action is far superior to complaining. We need to remain upbeat, and as Helena herself did, never lose faith, she writes, very importantly, in the campaign, and that's important. Here is a taste of Helena's advice. Number one, resolve to make your personal life a priority. A woman who wants a partner in life needs to be as directed in her romantic pursuits as she is about her career, her workout routine, or her skincare. And she writes the following, you've spent enough years behaving as though marriage didn't matter to you. Now that it does, live as though you care about it and make it a top priority on your radar screen. Lesson number two, she teaches us, visualize your marital future. Successful people rarely achieve their goals without first imagining their ability to succeed in that goal. By firmly keeping in mind the positive visual image of yourself as a married person, you come that much closer to becoming a married person. Don't view your singleness as a permanent condition. See yourself as someone who simply hasn't found that match yet. You're a married woman in waiting. That's how you have to see yourself. Appreciate the good life that you have, but picture how much richer it could be with a partner by your side. So while you are capable of doing most everything for yourself, you also allow men to do things for you without feeling diminished by their contribution. You are not pretending to be weak or incompetent. You're merely allowing others to feel appreciated in a direct and concrete way. Similarly, you are able to envision yourself making certain adjustments in order to blend your life with someone else's life. You're relocating to another city perhaps, or becoming a stepmother. You have to open yourself to other possibilities. The operative image here is that you picture yourself becoming part of a dynamic team rather than continuing life as a solo player. Lesson number three that Helena teaches us, remove any obstacles that have kept you single. I always tell people, work on whatever emotional issue is going on in your life or psychological issue while you're single, so that you can eliminate the obstacles. This requires that you know what those obstacles are. To isolate what impediments may have contributed to your singleness, fill in the blank. I believe I'm still single because of something. Maybe you simply haven't met the right person, or you've spent most of your time now getting an education and nurturing a career. Then again, you might admit that you're a perfectionist and no one has measured up to your standards. Or you've stopped dating to avoid disappointment and hurt. Even answers that sound logical on the surface can mask deeper things about you. It may be true, for example, that you haven't met the right person, but it also may be true that you haven't made any efforts to widen your social circle. It's easier to move forward in your personal life once you've honestly assessed what's holding you back and you've separated reasonable explanations from elaborate rationalizations. So get into it, find out what is it that's holding you back and work on it. If you need a dating mentor, reach out for one and get one. Number 4, stand tall. Admitting that you'd like to get married doesn't signal an affliction. It's merely a defensive life goal. Take that brown paper bag off your head and proudly proclaim to your friends and co-workers that you are interested in fix-ups and introductions to appropriate prospects. We often worry that revealing our desires to get married will cast us in an embarrassing or unflattering light, as though wanting a spouse and asking for help was a weakness or a cause for shame. In fact, the desire to bond with a partner is a strength, and one of the best ways to find an appropriate mate is to be introduced by a third party who knows both of you. Number 5, reserve judgment. Don't jump to hasty negative conclusions about new men you meet. It's easy to dismiss a good man if sparks don't fly between the two of you right away by the time you've ordered the first appetizer. For the most part, the best men will not be the ones who dazzle you from the get-go, but those who wear well over time. Number 6, get off the road if it isn't taking you where you want to go. Stay away from men who are older, for example, and have a history of not committing. Or neither will the guy you've been seeing on and off for 5 years who still won't commit. Get rid of such people. These no-way men must be given their walking papers to make room for the genuinely marriageable men who are waiting to meet you. So stop befriending men who are just like friends. You've got to only date men who are serious about getting married. Unfortunately, the time you waste with unmarriageable men can never be recaptured. So do an early spring cleaning and get all energy vampires out of your life at once. Lastly, live with gratitude, something that I stress to my students and in my classes all the time. The best way to get more out of life is to appreciate fully the life you have. Waking up every day with a sense of appreciation makes you more content. And the more content you are, the more likely you are to be a magnet for other people, including eligible men. You become magnetic and the bracha, the blessing, comes to look for you. If you're not an optimistic and appreciative person by nature, practice being optimistic and appreciative. There are great books on it. There's a thank you card that I could send you. Just reach out to me. Find small things to be grateful for. Feel thankful for what you might otherwise take for granted. Your good health, for example, in this time of the corona epidemic, how grateful we have to be for our health. For example, a dazzling sunset you should appreciate. Make it a habit every day to affirm the beauty in life, and more of life's beauty will come your way. It's all about your attitude. And if you'd like my help in any way, dating or shidduchim, or dating coaching, or dating mentoring, to evaluate a relationship, or in shalom bayis in any way, please feel free to reach out to me from anywhere in the world by simply texting me or WhatsApping me or calling me to 305-206-1916. Again, 305-206-1916, or you can email me to drjackcohen18@gmail.com, or you can contact me through my website, drjackdating.com. Have a wonderful day and a Shabbat Shalom.